Sesame Street? Honestly, with all the scary theories out there, it should be called Nightmare on Sesame Street. Although there's no Freddy Krueger roaming this street, it's still equally as terrifying. Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm your host, Lindsay Ivan, and today I'm bringing you the Top 10 Scary Sesame Street Theories, Part 3. If you haven't seen the other parts already, you know the drill. Make sure to go check those out as well. Starting off this countdown, we have the Peter Pan syndrome. The Peter Pan syndrome refers to an adult who shows childlike behavior. It often affects men, and as a result, they have a lack of emotional maturity and remain in a childlike state. Can anyone guess what character I'm referring to? Of course, it's Elmo. Elmo is said to have Peter Pan syndrome. Despite being over 40 years old, he always acts and talks like a very small child. He talks in a very childlike manner and refers to himself in third person. He also always needs Mr. Noodle's help to solve simple tasks that children can easily do, like wash their hands and put on their shoes. On top of that, he likes to do childish things like draw with crayons or play with his orange doll named Baby David. All of the characters are shown to be more advanced and mature, but Elmo is one that is constantly stuck in a childlike state. In our 9th spot, we have the abusive partner. So in my last video, I talked about the unhealthy relationship shown between Oscar the Grouch and his partner, Grunchgetta. But they aren't the only unhealthy couple. It is theorized that Kermit the Frog is constantly being physically, emotionally, and mentally abused by his partner, Miss Piggy. So their relationship has always been shown to be rocky. They have a constant on and off kind of relationship. On the Muppets, there have been numerous times when Miss Piggy would hit or smack Kermit. One minute, she'll be smothering him with love, and next thing you know, she's upset and taking her frustration out by hitting him. Kermit is trapped. He feels like he's the one at fault, so he's always stuck going back to her and apologizing. In one episode, Miss Piggy even hits him and calls him a barbarian. She definitely has anger issues that she takes out on Kermit. Now I know Miss Piggy is a Muppet and isn't a character on Sesame Street, but she is the main reason why Kermit left Sesame Street. She has control over his life and wants him on the Muppets with her and not on the Sesame Street. Moving on to number 8, we have the inferiority complex. Now this one's sad, but apparently people think that Snuffleupagus has a terrible inferiority complex. An inferiority complex is basically when people feel like they aren't good enough. This could be from real or imaginary sources. So let's look at Snuffleupagus. Okay, and for the sake of me having to say that tongue twister of a name like 50,000 times, I'm just gonna call him Snuffy. So Snuffy is a giant woolly mammoth type creature that is really insecure. When he was first on Sesame Street, he was only seen by Big Bird. Then in 1985, other characters started to see him as well. That means that for a decade and a half, Snuffy was going unnoticed by others. Enough so that people didn't even know that he existed. That led him to believe that he isn't worthy of their attention. Another sign of having an inferiority complex is the constant need for validation or attention. Well, from 1971 to 1985, he was in a lot more sketches with his friends. Maybe it's because he was trying to get this attention. Lastly, Snuffy has a song called Nobody. In the song he says, "Nobody seems to want me, though I wish on stars above, I guess I'll just go back to my house and make believe I'm loved." Okay, that is dark, but proves that even though he's surrounded by characters and has been in a lot of sketches with them, he still feels unworthy of attention and love. Coming in at number 7, we have the conjoined twins. So let's stay on Snuffleupagus for just another second. Take a look at his name. Well, Snuffle is obviously a reference to his nasally voice and his giant trunk. Also, people that cry tend to snuffle. And since we know that Snuffy's been through a lot, chances are he's had a lot of crying fits. Then we have the suffix of his name, Pagus. Well, it comes from a word meaning malformed conjoined twins. So this led people to believe that Snuffy is a conjoined twin, meaning he is fused with another half. Maybe he isn't actually a woolly mammoth, he just happened to turn out looking like one as a result of being conjoined with his sibling. Okay? Kinda makes sense. A lot of the characters on Sesame Street are unidentifiable, meaning we don't know what species they are. Why would they incorporate a random woolly mammoth into the show? Doesn't really seem to fit. And especially because they're extinct. In our 6th spot, we have the HYPNOTIZER. One character that's not really that popular is the owl named Hoots. He first appeared on Sesame Street in season 16. Basically, he is a scary looking owl that plays the saxophone. Well, it is theorized that Hoots uses his saxophone to hypnotize the visitors of Sesame Street. Whether this is hypnotizing kids so that they are stuck there forever, or hypnotizing other monsters so that they can trap and kill them. Just honestly, take a look at him. He's definitely not a friendly looking owl. He's got a raspy voice, wide yellow eyes, and terribly mangled and matted fur. His original design showcases hypnotic looking eyes, which revealed his true capabilities. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the multiple personality disorder. In Sesame Street, Grover is said to be multi-talented and to have several different jobs. He also has multiple different personas or alter egos, such as Super Grover, a superhero. In the episode titled A Celebration of Me, Grover, Grover is applauded for all the different jobs that he has. In the song titled Grover Work Song, it reveals all of the jobs Grover has had. Some include being a waiter, taxi driver, hot dog vendor, plumber, farmer, firefighter, DJ, and the list continues. Either he's got a lot of time on his hands, or he has multiple personalities. As a result, each personality has a different occupation, so the job that he goes to depends on which of his personalities is present. Coming in at number 4, we have the scary monsters. If you watch older episodes of Sesame Street, you may notice a bunch of characters that are no longer present in the current episodes. These monsters typically had more terrifying features to them. Well, it is theorized that any Sesame Street monster that looked too scary was killed. Why is this? Because they were scaring away too many kids with their frightening appearance. In fact, Cookie Monster originally had scary looking sharp teeth. When he heard that monsters were being killed over their appearance, he ripped his teeth out so he looked less scary. Some other scary looking monsters include the 7 giant teeth monster. That's a green monster with giant white fence looking teeth. And the Harvey monster, a dark blue monster with yellow horns and black angry looking eyebrows. And lastly, we have Frazzle, a terrifying monster with huge sharp teeth, horns, and yellow eyes. All of these monsters aren't shown in the latest episodes. They all were killed and their bodies stored under the grounds of Sesame Street. In our 3rd spot, we have the Frazzle Demon. So, Frazzle is a very interesting and terrifying creature. All he does is make vicious growling noises and shakes uncontrollably, symptoms a victim of possession normally have. So it is said that Frazzle is being possessed by a demon. As a result, it altered his appearance and turned him into a creature with sharp teeth and a tongue hanging out of his mouth. In the show, there are only 2 known times where he has talked. So it does prove that he's capable of talking and forming sentences. So why would he choose to only growl? Well, he could talk before the possession took over, and now he can't. In fact, the episode titled Beat the Time, Cookie Monster drags Frazzle out by thick chains. So Cookie Monster is aware that Frazzle is possessed and had him chained up to protect others. Moving on to number 2, we have the Monster Eater. Cookie Monster is known for his huge appetite, and of course for his love of cookies. But it is shown that if his hunger gets too out of control, then he will consume anything and everything. He has eaten things from apples, to letters, to dishes, to hubcaps. Well, it turns out Cookie Monster hardly has control over his cravings, making people theorize that he has indeed eaten other monsters before. I mean, if he gets that hungry and he resorts to eating inedible objects, what's stopping him from eating other monsters as well? This could also explain why some monsters that we have seen in older episodes are no longer shown in recent episodes. Because Cookie Monster has eaten them. And in our number 1 spot, we have the abducted children. This theory surrounds the idea that the whole Sesame Street show is used as a way to lure and kidnap children. Kids can come to Sesame Street to meet their favorite characters. When they enter, there's no escaping. Their parents are killed, and the kids are trapped in Sesame Street for the remainder of their life. As mentioned in my last video, we often see children on the show, but never the same ones more than a couple of times. That's because once they're done with them, they just lock them away in a prison under the streets of Sesame Street. This is a perpetual cycle. They entice kids to come and have a tour of the set and meet their characters, The kids are then kidnapped, star in a couple of episodes until they're no longer useful, and then they get locked away. And that's it for today's video. Let's move on to our comment shout out portion. I'll be shouting out comments for my video, Top 10 Famous Urban Legends That Came to Life Part 3. Corn Dog commented, glad you guys are safe and not still filming with everyone. Stay safe. Thank you so much. I hope that all the viewers out there are also staying safe. It has been more difficult filming from home, but we are determined to get more content out for you guys, so we will still be filming. Gamer Chad Boy commented, where's the cool background? Thanks. It's my house. Soul Searching commented, for some reason I couldn't focus on this one. I think it's because of her books. I was trying to be nosy and see what she had. LOL. I love books. Well, there you go. Brown chicken now. I have a bunch of vintage old Nancy Drew books because Nancy Drew is the best. And over here, I got the Nancy Drew video game collection. So, there you go. I recommend the series, I really do. And that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see you when I see you.